needs could only be fulfilled by exploiting the natural resources because of the lack of scientific development. But in the era of science and technology, many new ways are known to make the life of man easy, colorful, and full of variety. So, in the early times, clothing materials were monopolized by cotton, silk, wool obtained from natural resources. But with the passage of time, increased use of clothes, and with growing population, it became difficult to fulfill the demand. So the other problems that arose were the price and value standards, as most of the population demands for durable and cheaper clothes. To solve such problems, synthetic fibers have come into light. Synthetic fibers are obtained by chemical processes and have chain of small units joined together. And the plastics. So these are the synthetic materials which are in great use these days, and they are suitable for all household purposes. So now we'll understand the chemistry behind fibers and plastics. So chemically, both fibers and plastics are polymers, and therefore it is essential to study what is a polymer. So the word polymer is from a Greek word, that is, poly means many and mer means a part or a unit. So polymer means poly plus mer. So poly means many and mer means a part or a unit. And the polymers are the macromolecules with high molecular weight and are formed by the combination of large number of small units which are called the monomers. So the polymers are made from the monomers. One such example is the cotton is made up of cellulose. Cotton is made up of cellulose, which is a polymer whose monomer is the large units of glucose units. So they are formed with glucose units. Next is polythene is a monomer of ethene. So the chemical process by which the simple molecules or the monomers are transformed into a polymer is known as polymerization. So the process by which the monomers are converted into polymers is called polymerization. Now we'll understand the classification of polymers. So polymers can be classified on the basis of their origin. So the first is the biopolymers and the synthetic or the man-made polymers. So the polymers which are found in nature are called natural polymers, and they are mostly obtained from plants and animals. And they are also known as biopolymers as they control various life processes of plants and animals. One such example would be proteins, which are the polymers made from amino acid. So amino acid is the monomer from which the polymer protein is made. Next, synthetic polymers or the man-made polymers. Polymers which are prepared in laboratory are called synthetic polymers. And synthetic polymers are also called man-made polymers. One such example is polythene, which is a polymer of ethene. And nylon, rayon, polyester are some other examples of synthetic polymers. It is important to note that the polymers which are found in human body are protein, glycogen, DNA, and many more. So these are some of the polymers found in the human body. Now we'll study about fibers in detail. So fibers are the thread-like substances that can be spun into yarn. So they are thread-like substances that can be spun into yarn. For example, wool, cotton, jute, etc. So the fibers can also be classified into two categories, that is the natural fibers and the man-made or synthetic fibers. So natural fibers are those fibers which are obtained from plants and animals. Some examples are cotton, silk, wool, coir, etc. While the synthetic fibers are those prepared in the laboratory from different chemicals through the artificial means. Some of the examples are nylon, polyester, and many more. So now we'll study about some important synthetic fibers. So the first is rayon or artificial silk. So how is the production done? So rayon is made from cellulose, including the paper pulp and the wood pulp, as it is formed by chemical treatment of naturally occurring polymers. It is neither a truly synthetic fiber nor a natural fiber. Hence, rayon is known as a semi-synthetic fiber. Some of the properties are: it is silk, it resembles silk in appearance, and therefore it is known as artificial silk. Uses: so it can be used primarily in the textile industry. So rayon along with cotton in the ratio of 1:1 is used in making bed sheets, silky cloths, and the blend of rayon and wool is used in making carpets. Next, in the automobile industries, so it is used in making of the reinforced automobile tires. Next, it is used in the medical field. So in making the gauze bandage or lint for dressing the wounds and etc. So rayon is used. Next, artificial or synthetic fiber we'll speak about is nylon. So nylon is a first fully synthetic fiber, and it is prepared from coal, water, and air. Nylon 6,6 or 6,10 or nylon 6 are some of the variants of nylon, and the most common variant of the nylon is nylon 66. So the properties of nylon are: first, it is a linear polymer and it is lustrous and easy to wash. Next, it is strong and water resistant, and it is light, wrinkle resistant, and can have permanent crease. It is elastic and durable and resistant to attack by insects or moths. So the uses, or it can be used for the following purposes. So the first use is nylon is used for making various household goods like the socks, tents, car seat belts, sleeping bags, curtains, stockings, and many more. It is used in making ropes for rock climbing, and it is used for making paint brushes. And nylon is water and cold resistant material, so it is popular for making swimwear. And being elastic and durable, it is used for making fishing nets or fishing lines. And it is important to remember that silk fiber is obtained from silkworm, was first made in China. And nylon is the first fully man-made synthetic fiber which was first synthesized in 19 1931. And since it is developed in New York and London, it is named as nylon. It is made in New York and London, so it is named as nylon. So the next thing we are going to study is polyester. So polyester is actually a general name which has been given to any group of widely used synthetic products made up of repeating units or the monomeric units of a chemical which is called ester. So one of the popular polyester is therilene. So the fabric made from this fiber cannot wrinkle easily, and the polyester dresses are in great demand these days. And next is the PET, polyethylene terephthalate, is another type of polyester which is widely used in making bottles, wires, and utensils. So the properties involved first is PET is resistant to heat, sunlight, and chemicals, and they are wrinkle resistant and stretch resistant and can be recycled. And it is long lasting and it can be blended with the natural fibers to make different types of fabrics. When mixed with cotton, it is called terry-cot. While mixing with wool, it is called terry wool. So the uses of this are, it can be blended with the natural fibers and it can be used to make various varieties of fabrics. And due to wool-like texture, it is used for making suits and trousers, but due to the less elasticity, it is not used for making ladies' stockings. And being chemical resistant, it is used to make laboratory clothes like lab aprons, and is used to make sails for boats and conveyor belts. And esters are the chemicals which have a fruity smell. Esters are the chemicals which have fruity smell. So the next which we are going to study in detail is the acrylic fibers, which are also called acrylic or orlin. So the properties are, they are wool-like fibers, and wool made from natural sources is quite expensive, whereas clothes made from this material are relatively cheaper, and they are used to make sweaters, shawls, and blankets. Advantages or the disadvantages of synthetic fibers. So first we'll study the advantages. So they are strong and require less maintenance, and hence they are durable and generally resistant to various insects, and some are resistant to heat, sunlight, and grease. Next is they absorb less water, and so they dry easily and quickly. And they do not depend either on agricultural crop or animal farming. They do not depend on agricultural crop or animal farming. And they are generally less expensive and affordable, so it is popular than the natural fibers. Now the disadvantages are, they do not allow air to pass through them, and they are not comfortable in summers, and they get damaged at high temperatures, and they catch fire easily, and they are non biodegradable, and they do not absorb sweat and hence cause rashes on skin, and they are extremely hazardous to the environment. They're extremely hazardous to the environment. So next, we will be studying about plastics in detail. We have completed fibers. Now we'll be studying about plastics in detail. So plastic is a common term for a wide range of synthetic or semi-synthetic materials used in manufacturing of industrial products. And these are the polymers of high molecular weight, so have high molecular weight and may contain other substances to improve the performance or their quality. So the classification of plastics. So the most important classification of plastics is based on their effect on heat. So according to which they are of two types. First one is thermoplastics. So these plastics are not resistant to heat. They are not resistant to heat. They may melt and can be reshaped again and again since they regain their properties on cooling. Some of the examples are polythene, PVC, etc. And the other type is the thermosetting plastics. So the thermosetting plastics are resistant to heat. So these are resistant to heat and they can be molded only once and cannot be reshaped again. So the examples are melamine, bakelite, etc. So now we'll study some common plastics. So the first common plastic is the polythene, which is poly plus ethene. So it is a thermoplastic. That means it is not resistant to heat and it can be prepared by the polymerization of ethene molecules, and it is insoluble in most of the solvents and is not attacked by strong chemicals, and it is translucent and can be molded in various shapes. It is resistant to corrosion and also acts as an insulator. So the equation is that ethene, n number of ethenes with high temperature and pressure can be converted into polythene. Uses. So it is used in making thin sheets, carry bags, adhesive tapes, bottles, etc., and used as an insulating material for electric wires, anti-corrosion coatings for iron, copper, etc. And it is used in making containers, packing materials, and water bottles. So the next plastic we are going to study is Teflon, which is also called polytetrafluoroethane. So it is formed by the polymerization of tetrafluoroethane molecules, and it is also a thermoplastic. It is also a thermoplastic, and it is resistant to chemicals. So the uses are, it is used for making non-stick coating of utensils and used as a lubricant, especially for inaccessible parts of the machines. So the next plastic we are going to study is bakelite. So it is a thermosetting plastic, and it is a poor conductor of heat or electricity. It is hard and non-flexible, and once it breaks it cannot be rejoined, remolded or reshaped by heating. So the uses are, it is used in making handles of utensils and most electrical fittings. It is used for making buttons, lamps, combs, office stationery, etc., and used in making radio, telephone, or television cabinets. The next plastic we are going to study is the melamine. So, melamine is also a thermosetting plastic, and it is cross linked polymer, and it is a material of versatile uses, and melamine has the highest capacity of heat resistance. It has the highest capacity of heat resistance and can even resist flame. So the uses of melamine are: melamine polymer is quite hard and is used in making plastic crockery under the brand name Melmac, and it is used for making floor tiles and other fire resistant objects. It is used as a fire proof plastic, and the uniforms of firemen have coating of melamine, and therefore melamine is also called the flame resistant plastic. So now we have completed the most common plastics. Now we'll understand the characteristics of plastics. So the first one is they are chemical resistance. That is, plastics are not affected by strong chemicals such as acids or alkalis. And the second one is the degradability. So they are non-biodegradable, but some can be recycled. Next is their lightweight. Plastics are light in weight. Fourth point is their heat and electricity resistant. That is, plastic works as an insulator for both heat and electricity. Next is their high strength. So plastics are stronger in comparison to other fibers. Hard plastics are less brittle. Sixth one is their versatile use. So the remoldable thermoplastic has versatile uses. Now we'll understand the advantages. That is, a wide range of plastics are available in market, but because of their specific characteristics. Now let us study the advantages of these in much more detail. So the first one is these are strong, hard, flexible and resistant material, and the second is they are corrosion free and resistant to chemicals, and the third is they are bad conductors for heat and electricity, and the fourth point is that most varieties of plastics can be recycled and molded again and again, and the fifth point is they are light in weight and they are durable. Now we'll study the harmful effects of plastics. The first is they are non-biodegradable, and the second point is plastics are on burning evolve black poisonous smoke. They are not good for the environment. Next, they are indigestible, so if consumed they may block the digestive canals, which could be fatal. And the fourth point is recycled plastics are unhygienic to store food products. Now we'll understand what are biodegradable and non-biodegradable materials. So the materials which can be deposited through the natural process are called the biodegradable materials. For example, cotton, wool, paper, foodstuffs, etc. But the materials which do not decompose through the natural process are called the non-biodegradable materials. For example, plastic, synthetic fibers, etc. So we've understood in detail about plastics. Now we'll understand about the 5R principle. So since plastics will take several years to decompose, it is not environmental friendly and it causes environmental pollution. So if we burn plastic, it will not burn completely and release a lot of poisonous fumes. So to overcome hazardous results of the use of plastics and synthetic materials, the 5R principle came into existence. So the 5R's, in the sense, the first one is reduce, second one is the reuse, third is recycle, fourth is recover, and the fifth is refuse. Reduce to use of non-biodegradable materials, reuse of the non-biodegradable materials many times, recycle the non-biodegradable materials, recover the non-biodegradable materials, and refuse the use of non-biodegradable materials. So this is the 5R principle. And it is important to remember that most of the thermoplastics can be recycled. And however, during recycling, certain coloring agents are added, and these limits its usage for the storage of